right, on this edition of The Best Hawaii, are you ready? Because she's got a lot of energy. She is a ball of fun and positivity. You may have seen her on Survivor, your only Native Hawaiian from the islands of Hawaii on the show, and she's so much more. Get to know Tiyana Hallums.
Oh my God, I can't even believe that I'm here right now. I'm honestly so excited to be spending this day with you. It's so surreal. I'm so stoked.
You are amazing. I just feel how, like, you just uplift everyone that you come in contact to, your positivity.
Don't make me cry in the beginning of the episode. Let's pace it. Let's pace it out a little bit.
Okay, so first question, what makes Hawaii the best?
Okay, I had a lot of thought about this, but I ultimately came to the conclusion that I think that Hawaii is the best because of the diversity that we have here, especially because you can chalk it down to food, culture. I'm a quarter Black, a quarter Hawaiian, a quarter Danish, Japanese, Chinese, Filipino. So in my experience, every single one of my cultures has just taught me so much. And like every single time that I've been able to come in contact with, you know, a festival that we have here that celebrates Chinese festival and like Japanese and like just really getting to embrace a whole bunch of cultures that are even more than just Hawaiian, you know? And so I think that that's so special. And it's also something that you don't really see a lot, especially, you know, when I went away to college and things like that. And I know that we'll get into it.
It's very, like, ethnic centric.
Yes.
Yeah. And 100%. Like the white people hang out with the white people and the Black people hang out with the Black people.
Absolutely. And I even like had a moment when I was in the U.S. Continental where I was spoken Spanish to like immediately. And it's because they've just never seen brown. They associate brown with Black, which is like, I am Black also, but they will already assume that I'm Hispanic of some sort, which is totally fine. But I'm like, have you never seen any other nationality or ethnicity or anything like that? Like,
my mom was from Brooklyn, New York, so I spent some time in New York, and they all thought I was Puerto Rican. So they would speak Spanish to me too.
Of course they did. Yeah. Of course they did. Wow. Oh my gosh, New York? How long? Okay, so then did you have some time in New York too?
Summers and winters with family, yeah. But we're talking about you.
Okay, so sorry. So
let's turn it back a little bit. Where did you go to elementary school? Where were you from?
Yes, so born and raised in Aiea, and then I am a lifer at Kamehameha, so forever indebted. Absolutely the best experience that I could have possibly had.
Does that mean you're kindergarten all the way up?
Yes. Okay. Oh, actually, preschool all the way up.
Ooh.
Well, for me. I know that's usually kindergarten all the way up and you're a lifer, but I was lucky enough to get my name drawn out of, like, I'm pretty sure it was a jar system back then. That's what my mom told me, where you just got picked out of a jar for the preschool and then you got in. So I was really, yeah. And then my mom also paid a lot of money. No, I'm kidding. But it was, yeah. So ever since preschool, I've been at Kamehameha schools and it's just been the best experience of my life, honestly.
So siblings?
Yes, I have 2 younger siblings. So my youngest brother is KJ, Kavika Jr., and he just actually graduated from high school. And so he's going to be playing football at UH.
Wow.
Yeah, so super, super exciting. I'm stoked for him on a full ride scholarship, thankfully. And then he is 19 right now. And my little sister is 22, and she is currently moved back home because they went up to Bishop Gorman. My brother played football up there for his junior and senior year.
Wow.
And she was nice enough to move up with him, and my grandma did too. And then so now they're finally back home. And so it's been a whirlwind of traveling for them, but it's just been awesome to see them grow too. So my 2 younger siblings are my life, and I feel like that's everyone in Hawaii that has siblings. It's just, that connection is so special. And even though we're 6 years and 10 years apart, it doesn't feel like any time at all. Those are my best friends.
Wow. So tell me about the dynamic of mom and dad. I'm guessing dad is the African-American one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So my dad is half Black, half Hawaiian, and then my mom is half Danish, and then the rest is Japanese, Chinese, Filipino, like kind of split evenly.
So she just looks kind of hapa.
Yes.
Okay.
She looks kind of hapa, and she actually was, she moved to Hawaii a while ago, I will say. And then her dad, so my grandpa, was in the Air Force. So they only ever lived in Germany and Hawaii. They've never lived like in the U.S. Continental, so it's always been like one of those stations. And so that's how my mom and dad met. She was scorekeeping at Mililani in high school, and he was playing basketball at Pearl City. So they met through there, and then the rest was history, kind of.
So they're literal high school sweethearts.
Yeah, well, used to, I guess. They're divorced now, but you know
Okay.
what? Yeah, but you know what? For the most part, yes, they were high school sweethearts, and then now they're just the best of friends, and they do a great job co-parenting us.
Co-parenting.
Yeah, because I think they divorced when I was sophomore year of high school, so it was pretty early on, honestly, in my life. So it wasn't really, in my opinion, that big of a deal because I know that they were just so much better as friends than they were as just parents or like as just cohabiting in general. So I
Yeah.
think that they're a lot happier now, honestly.
Yeah. And your siblings, they're full siblings too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
you know, in Hawaii, like there's such a blended, right?
Oh
Like,
my gosh, the blend is crazy, sister. Absolutely crazy. And so and then all of my cousins like were really close because we all grew up together too. So it's almost like I have like 6 to 10 siblings. I mean, that's how it is in Hawaii
Yeah.
in general.
So, what are some of your fondest memories growing up?
Okay, some of my fondest memories would probably have to be when I was an only child. So when I was very young, actually, me and my family, we went up to Denmark every year.
Oh my
So
gosh.
we would travel. I was lucky enough to be able to be exposed to my Danish side pretty often. And so it was just such a blessing to be able to appreciate Hawaii and also appreciate Denmark because it is so beautiful and it's such a rich history there as well. And then I was able to be close to my cousins and grow up with them. They would always come here, even though it's like, oh my God, it's like a 24-hour travel
Yeah.
period with like the layovers and whatever. So,
So, as
yeah.
a young child, you were in Denmark like during the summertime?
Yes, it would always be during the summertime.
I'm envisioning kind of like the Sound of Music.
As you should. Frolicking around, yes, that was me. Like giant plants, yellow fields, just like literally doing ballerina spins. That was my childhood. And just having ice cream. There's actually a safari park in Denmark, and that's where we go every single year. And it's basically not like a zoo, but you can drive around like in an open enclosure, and it has like rhinos just like right next to your car, and zebras right next to your car, giraffes, like elephants. How do they not ram the car? I'm not sure. But we stay on a path and then they just like roam freely, and we're not allowed to get out of the car, but it's I think it's like 10 to like 20 acres, I think, of
It's a
land
legit
where they
like
can like
safari.
yes. And so my fondest memories are me having an ice cream cone there and being able to go on this like little cart that you can feed baboons
Oh my
in.
gosh.
So you're like in this like vehicle, like nice and safe, and then you just like slide it out of like this slit, and then they just come and they eat right next to the window.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Gotta add it to the list.
You really do have to add it to the
So
list.
you might not know, but in Japan, there's an amusement park called Houston Bosch, which is like the worst name ever.
Yeah.
And it's a Holland-inspired theme park.
Are you kidding me?
Serious, with like tulips everywhere and roller coasters.
I would have never assumed that was in
Yeah.
Japan from what you just said.
Yeah, if anybody,
Holland
it's
Bosch?
I think when Hawaiian launched to Fukuoka,
We love
and
Fukuoka.
we'll talk about her
Yes.
career with Hawaiian.
We will.
I went to Fukuoka and did like a whole thing, and then we drove down to Houston Bosch, and it's incredible, and everything looks like it's from like Holland and Denmark-esque, and yeah.
Genuinely, Japan just does the best.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how they even have both the infrastructure and the time to make so many incredible parks and also attractions. I don't know, and make such bomb food.
I think it's their work ethic.
It has to be. It honestly
Because
has
it's
to be
like,
at this point.
we're going to do that and do it better than everyone
Yeah.
else.
So we're going to take that and we're actually going to elevate it. So thank you so much for your inspo, but we'll take over from here. That's what I envision Japan's marketing is like.
Yeah, classic. So conversely, that being like your greatest memory, what's your saddest memory or something that you kind of look back on and it
That's
chokes you up a little?
a great question. I feel like my saddest memory would have to be my my mafa. So that's my mom's dad. We call him mafa because that's grandpa in Danish. That's like it literally
Ah.
translates to mom's dad.
Okay.
So they have like fa fa moa.
Cute.
Like yeah. So my mafa.
It kind of sounds Samoan.
Yes. Yes, it honestly does. Yeah, because they don't really pronounce like the R's at the end that much. It's like mofa, like like that. So it's yeah. Anyway, but my mafa, he actually passed away when I was 11, I think, at the time, and it was from pneumonia. And I specifically remember, you know, when you're that young, you assume that all adults are going to get better. You know, you're not picturing a life without them. You're not expecting the worst because obviously in adulthood we are kind of preparing for that more and we have more of a frontal lobe developed a little bit. But when I do remember the last time that I was at the hospital, I just fully thought that he was going to recover. So I'm just like reading my book, and then I went home that night, and then the next morning my mama came home and like told us the bad news, and I remember just being like the world stood still. It was, as is all death, you know, you just can't really believe that the last time that you saw them was the last time. And so that is one of my, I guess, greatest regrets a little bit too, because I feel like I wasn't as present as I should have been. But once again, I'm a kid, so I can't really dock myself that hard. So I kind of just have like a mini counseling session in my brain about like feeling regret about not being as present and not, you know, talking with him more. And, you know, he used to like, he used to like drive. So I got dropped off in IAEA, like from the bus from Kamehameha. And I'm not even kidding you, the drive from my house to the bus stop was like 5 minutes max. Like it's not a big thing. But like every day that he would pick me up, he would like pack a brown bag of like snacks, like plum and chocolate milk and like Reese's peanut butter cup because those are my favorite.
Wow.
And my mom would always be like, "You don't have to bring her that. Like it's 5 minutes away." And he's like, "I like doing it." And then he would like do that all the time. So yeah, he was like my best friend. But
Aww.
and so wow, I was like that was something that I was not even. That was like a memory or childhood memory that I barely ever visit. Maybe because it's like painful, obviously.
Yeah.
But
just unlocking something that
Yes.
meant something to you, and it was so small
yes.
that yeah.
And it was literally every single day. Like without fail, he would have a little brown bag. Yeah.
Aww, that's
We love.
That's
Isn't that so
charming.
fun? Yeah, it's
That's
like
charming.
so. No, he was the best, and yeah. So it came with like the pneumonia and stuff, and it was pretty like fast acting, I would say. And he also had to do dialysis and all that good stuff, all that great jazz. So yeah, but he was absolutely incredible, like the best Mafa ever. So yeah, I feel like that would probably be like the best and then the worst of childhood. Love that.
Grief and loss is really challenging, and I feel like it's just time, right? And so
It
obviously, I mean, what's it been like, 15 years
Yeah.
or something for you? And it still, you know, brings up those feelings.
Yeah.
So,
The memories all come flooding back, you know, because those are your earliest memories, really, is around like 10, 9, 10, 11, 12,
yeah.
where you're actually like, oh my God, I'm a conscious human being. I know what's kind of going on a little bit. So, yeah, he was just amazing. And yeah, he was just one of the best people I've ever known. So, but I know that he's looking down fondly, and eventually I'll see him again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt his presence or seen him in a dream? Or
Every single day. Like, I can just feel him supporting me just vicariously through just energy and just being as close to him as I was. I know that he's there for me only just because he always told me that. He's like, you know, no matter what, like, and he was always hinting at that, which I never really picked up on when I was little. I was just like, okay, yeah, Mafa, I know. You're always going to be here for me, duh.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was probably just preparing me for if anything started to go down more with his health, then he probably was just preparing me for the worst.
Yeah.
But at that time, I just had no idea. So, yeah. But he always said that he would be there for me and he would always be rooting for me and we'd always, like, drive and find... I don't know if you ever did this with your, like, grandma, grandpa, mom, or dad, but we would always drive. He would take the time to drive to the end of the rainbow. Like, he'd be like, there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Like, we have to go get it. And he would, like, take 30 minutes for us driving to the rainbow just to, like, spend time with me. So... yeah.
That's really cute.
Yeah. No, yeah. So he was just incredible. And I know that his supportiveness, like even when I was that young, is translating into this life. And I know that it's almost like that inner confidence that I get because I know that he's supporting me. So as long as he's supporting me, I don't need any outside validation ever.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's the best. He's awesome.
beautiful memory.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you can help share it, you know,
Yeah.
the impact that he had on your life.
100%.
I was going to say that I thought maybe your parents' divorce might have been one
I-
of those.
I know, like, hello, everyone. Hello, outside street and world. No, it actually was not. I have told my parents too that that was one of the like happiest days because we knew that it just was not working.
Wow.
And so it had nothing to do with anything that they did wrong as parents, and they sat us down and we talked about it and stuff. And we were able to, like, we went through counseling too before that as
Wow.
well. And then only like twice-ish.
Okay.
But, and then they finally came to the conclusion that, hey, we're good. You know, like, we should probably end this now and be friends instead of being partners. But yeah, it was honestly, this sounds really messed up, and a lot of people probably disagree, but it was one of the happiest days of my life because I just knew it wasn't
Yeah.
working. I was old enough to know, like, this is
You guys should
not
just
it.
separate.
Right, like, thank you so much for trying. Let's go ahead and, like, for the betterment of both of you, just, like,
Oh, and props to you
know?
for acknowledging that.
Yeah.
And props to you for saying, like, it was the happiest day of our lives
Yes.
because it gave peace and maybe comfort and
Yes.
joy and yeah.
Yes,
And that there's nothing
100%.
wrong with that.
No, totally.
Yeah.
And, like, sometimes things just don't work out, and they have done everything in their power to give us everything as our parents. And so they're always going to be our parents. And just because they're not together doesn't mean that they're not, like, together and supporting us, you know? So that's really all that matters.
And that probably gives comfort to some people from broken homes too.
Absolutely.
And it's funny because when I was growing up, only child, single parent. And people would be
Wow.
like, oh, you're an only child? Oh, how's that? And then I remember I used to say, oh, I was a lonely child. Like it was like a Freudian slip.
Mhm.
And then when they'd say single parent, they'd say, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. And you're like, apologizing for what?
I was like, that's all that I know. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your existence. It's like, what? Like, this is my reality. Thank
Yeah.
you for apologizing, though.
People.
I know. We love people and their weird, unprompted opinions. Yeah. It's so fun. I love it.
So tell me more about Kamehameha and
Of
being
course.
a
Wrinkly
lifer
ring.
or
Yes.
daughter of or whatever they call it.
Yes. No, absolutely. Being a part of Kamehameha schools, especially for as long as I've been there, was one of the biggest blessings of my life because obviously it's so competitive to get in. So I was super lucky that I was good at recess. My mom told me that the whole reason why I got in was because I was good at recess. Apparently, one of my interview questions when I came home was they asked me, what do you do when you're tired? And I said, I yawn. And I told my mom that, and she was like, okay,
That's
you know what? We're
cute.
showing we're showing personality. We're not going straight for the sleeping. It's just, I yawn. We'll take it step by step. And then so from kindergarten on, I was able to make such incredible friends. Like, the ones that I've met in kindergarten and first grade are still my best of friends to this day. So that's, 20 years of friendship already, and we're only 28 years old. Like, it's just such a blessing, and Kamehameha has given me the opportunity to play volleyball, to go away to college. Like, if it wasn't for all the resources that Pauahi took the time to nurture with Charles Reed Bishop in their lifetime, we wouldn't have as many, like, Native Hawaiians that are able to go to these extremely prestigious schools because no hate to Iolani or Punahou or Midpac, but what's going on with your prices for school? Like, we were able to get those resources at a fraction of the price instead of paying like $30K a year. So
Yeah,
it's
the cost of like college tuition.
right.
Yeah.
What's happening there? You know what? What's going on? I
think-
want to talk to somebody.
And I think it's also the parents that are willing to pay it. It's like when you're not supposed to feed the birds.
Yeah.
And then you feed the birds.
Yeah, and you're like, what's actually going on anymore? So yeah, so it was just such an incredible time in my life because I was able to grow and like see all these people through a lot of very huge phases of their life. It's adolescence, puberty, like getting into college and getting to see my friends at every stage, and now progressively on into this real world life that we've created, I guess. It's just been such a blessing, and I have Kamehameha schools to thank for that, especially the volleyball side, and Chris Blake coaching me, like, and Coach Ahi coaching me when I was a freshman, and Coach Becca in middle school. Like, all those coaches played such a huge foundational part in my success in the real world and growing up and going to college. And so if it wasn't for them, I would never have been able to earn those full ride scholarships and get an education.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you feel like students that went to school with you appreciate and understand? And do you
That's a
think
good
they feel a
question.
sense of privilege?
That is such a good question. I feel like it might even be half-half. Like, especially when it comes to lifers, you'll either find incredibly grateful lifers or incredibly entitled lifers because they didn't know any different. Like, they didn't know, like, obviously, yeah, we have lunches served to us all the time. It's always hot. It's always really, really good. Like, we have Hawaiian food on Fridays. Like, it's all these very little things that we took for granted. And it's very easy to get jaded when that's all that you've known. But at the same time, I feel like the people that came in like 7th grade, 4th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, they had an experience to compare to it. So they're a lot more, grateful for it, you know? But I do feel like with the opportunities that Pohi was able to give us, it was something that was so special because I really don't know of another high school experience that could compare to everyone being Native Hawaiian and sharing that cultural bond. And even though we were not in like the same friend groups or we weren't in the same cliques or whatever that may be, and everyone had their own different vibes that they were on, it was like something connects us that's deeper than any of this surface level stuff. It's like ancestral, you know? So I think that's something that I've never taken for granted, but I can understand why some people will maybe take things for granted, you know, in those moments.
Yeah. And it might depend on the parenting.
Oh,
right?
110%. Yeah. Being like, oh, yeah, this is just like blah, blah, blah. Or if you had parents that complain about, you know, every student activity or whatever, it could make it a lot more of an unpleasant experience, to say the least. But my parents were never like that, and they were always telling me, you should be so grateful. Like, you go on this field trip, you can go work in the lo'i. Like, this is not an opportunity for a lot of schools, so
Yeah.
always be grateful. Yeah.
Tell me more about your sporting, extracurricular, volleyball, like how it all started.
Great, fantastic question. So I did start my volleyball career on left bench, as my dad likes to call it. I was horrible in middle school, literally horrible. I basically played PAL all like growing up. And I think I started when I was 5 or so, just running up and down the court, not really knowing what the heck is going on with my body and life. And then as I slowly progressed, I was able to play for the Kamehameha Blue team in intermediate year. And I was left bench, and I enjoyed my role, you know, because all of these incredible athletes always come out of Kamehameha school. So I'm just soaking it all in, all the experiences, all the knowledge that they gave me. And then somewhere in between, like 7th and 8th grade, I really went into a grind mode, and we went to tactical training with Darren, and he started to get my vertical up, started to get my strength better, my quickness better, and all these incredible things that he was able to like invest into me. And then I kind of like had my coming out year of 8th grade year, just being a baller-ish year, I guess you could say. And then it kind of translated into high school, and it just kind of like progressively got better and better.
So what changed?
I
Just
don't
like
know.
the practices?
I think it might have been a mindset thing. I think something that my dad has always taught me is like a saying that we always say is like, leave no doubt. Like, leave no doubt that you belong there. Leave no doubt that you are capable. Leave no doubt not only to other people but to yourself. Like, you belong in those spaces. And so I think it went from volleyball just being a hobby to me, you know, just playing for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then it all of a sudden being like, holy crap, I can actually utilize this to go to college, and I can actually use this, my God-given abilities, to have a free education if I want to, if I worked hard enough for it. And so I think that's like the quick realization that really, really changed the course of my career and the course of my athletic, I guess, outlook, really. Yeah.
Your dad was an athlete.
Yes,
So
my dad, yes.
Did he ever convey like, why aren't you doing better? Like, you've got the genes.
Oh, all the time. Yeah, all the time. Like, we joke about it now, but my dad was definitely my hardest critic out there. Like, bar none, it is not even close. Like, my coaches could never even come close to the way that my dad would. Like, I could have a really stellar game, and I could make one mistake, and he'd be like, what was that? Remember when you hit in the net that one time? And I'm like, awesome. This is the only
Did
thing
that
that you
motivate
see.
you though, or was it
really
like frustrating?
did.
Oh.
I think it did both. It both frustrated me, and then because I was frustrated, I got motivated. And maybe that was even a part of why I became so like obsessed with volleyball, was because I just wanted him to be quiet on the stands. I'm like, okay, if I make no mistakes, then he has nothing to complain about, kind of thing. And so yeah, we laugh about it now, but he was definitely coach first, dad second, and back in the day, I hated it. Obviously, it was just so frustrating because I'm like, oh my God, is nothing I ever do ever good enough? Like, why are you nitpicking these small little things? We won the game. I had the most kills. Like, what? What is it? But
He's pushing you.
yes, exactly. And he was just like, the way that he was brought up was a lot more like he had to earn every single opportunity that he got, because, you know, he went from house to house, evictions, things like that, and mom in and out of prison, and in and out of jail, and so like he was always having to be like the provider, the person that like took care of his little siblings, because he's the second oldest of 6, and so
Wow.
it was always, you know, he was in survival mode all the time. So it makes sense, you have to be nitpicky when you're in survival mode, because you're just trying to like make it to the next day. And so you can't really appreciate the good that's in front of you, because you're always worried about the bad that might come. So and that's definitely something that I've learned from him and taken away from him, is that I wouldn't have had it any other way of him being so hard on me, because if he wasn't, then something that I always say is, I'm in life, I go, if I could survive my dad always yelling at me in the car on drives home from volleyball practice and volleyball games, no one can intimidate me. Like, no one can tell me anything, you know, like, and that has been something and a mindset that I've taken into life. And it's become truer and truer every day, because I don't seek outside validation anymore. Like, I know it comes from myself, and I would have never unlocked that potential if it wasn't for my dad pushing me as hard as he did. Yeah, it sucked. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, it was so fun, sunshine, rainbow, cherries. But he was able to instill this like relentless mentality inside of me, where I could have both my mom's nurturing and my dad's ferocity, I guess. And so, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was cray-cray. It was cray-cray for a bit, to say the least.
So why volleyball though? Like, there could have been basketball, softball, swimming, surfing.
It's actually so funny that you asked that, because my dad, so when I was, I think this is like 10 at Powell League, he goes, I was playing basketball and volleyball. And so I was just doing like switching seasons, just staying active, blah, 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 whatever. And then my dad goes, you have to get serious about one of the sports. And at this time, I'm like 10. Like, you know, so this is not usually a time where people are getting very, very serious, but he already had the vision for the future athletically, so I'm appreciative, for sure. But then, so I had the option between pursuing basketball or volleyball, and I chose volleyball, and the reason why I chose volleyball was solely because at the time, I was like, okay, my dad was really, really good at basketball, and if he's already on me on volleyball and he's never played, I can't even imagine what he would be like when it comes to basketball. So I chose volleyball.
It's like the lesser of the evils.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, I'm going to be pushed super, super hard regardless of which one I choose. But let's go with the one he knows less about, so that I can't get yelled at as much.
That is hilarious. Okay. So were you like a high school star, like all-star standout? And then that's how you got your scholarships and yada yada?
I feel so awkward being like, I was so good in high school, because once again, it was like years ago, but back in high school, and I don't want to be like one of those people like reciting my high school stats. You know those people that like exist in Hawaii?
I was an all-star swimmer, and there's a picture of a girl in the paper doing the butterfly, and that was me. So yeah,
I have literally encountered so many either uncles or aunties that will bring up high school accolades. I'm like,
you didn't peak in high school. It's okay.
Right. I go, hey, anything else happening in your life other than the stats that you'd like to rattle off from your Radford Mililani football game? Like,
circa 19. 84.
Circa before anyone like was really like what is happening. Anyway, so in high school I was like actually nominated into the or what is even the word of that? Nominated, elected, select. There we go. Selected. That's the one. I was selected into the HHSAA Hall of Fame, Hawaii Hall of Fame.
Holy cow.
And so that one, I believe it's only 12 athletes in
That's
the
incredible.
whole islands of Hawaii are selected into this like Hall of Honor that is you basically get immortalized in Hawaii athletics, and you have to play more than one sport, and you have to exceed at more than one sport. And so I was doing volleyball at the time and was doing really well there. And then I also did track and field on the side, and I did long jump, high jump, triple jump, triple jump. What? Triple jump. And I wasn't that good at high jump for sure, but I was more of like the long jump, triple jumper. I was just kind of at high jump to get some points, even though it was just two. But yeah, it was kind of like an eye-opening moment where I just realized that I was capable of so much more, and it kind of just like fueled the fire even more to like, what else can I do? You know,
That's
once you
so
achieve one
amazing.
thing, you're like, what now? What can I do now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then college.
Yes.
What did you want to be and do and that path?
Yes. Oh my gosh, 100%. So I was blessed enough to receive a full ride scholarship to Gonzaga University in Spokane, Washington, and obviously I knew nothing about Spokane at the time. I was just so excited to go Division I. Honestly, that was my whole goal.
In volleyball.
Yes, in
Okay.
volleyball. I wanted to go Division I in volleyball since that mindset changed when I was in 8th grade. So that goal was just like ramping up into my senior year. So I was offered a full ride, and then I went to Gonzaga from 2015 to 2019. I got my bachelor's in kinesiology with a concentration in fitness because I thought I wanted to go into PT. Then I thought to myself, do I care about this enough to get my doctorate? Because obviously being a PT, especially having your own practice, eventually you need to have your doctorate. And I'm like, do I care about this enough to invest like 8 years into it? I go, no. And then I went to play sand volleyball for the University of Utah and got my master's in educational leadership and policy because I am, and I was and am still incredibly passionate about education in Hawaii. And I think that there's a lot of room for growth, especially with support, especially when it comes to public schools, like a lot more funding from the state and things like that. But we can get into that later. But
Nice.
yeah, I really, really wanted to get into education because one of my other life goals later on down the line is to actually get into helping the education system in Hawaii. So
Dang.
yeah, so I went to University of Utah, had a 50% scholarship. So it was really nice that they were to cover that much because sand volleyball at that time, 2019, was still growing. And so there wasn't a lot of funding in the program. So I was really excited to go from a small school, Gonzaga, to a big Pac-12 school. Well, Pac-12 is gone now, but it used to be Pac-12. And just seeing the difference in that. And yeah, it was just such a fun ride being a college athlete.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
2 questions.
Yes.
Why not UH? And did you have your set sights on going to the Olympics?
Oh, great questions. Okay, so why not UH is because I wasn't good enough. Cries. I wasn't good enough to get a full ride. But no, it was definitely, I've always wanted to play for Dave Shoji, and that was who was coaching at the time. And so I believe I was like talking to them back and forth, but all they could offer was a walk-on at the time. And it makes sense. Like UH is big time. You know, they're playing in front of like a huge arena all the time. And so I was not good enough and like not tall enough as an outside hitter to get into UH. But I so that's why it was not UH. Not because I didn't want to, because they didn't want me. I hold a grudge. Anyway, but then I also, with the Olympics, I feel like I was thinking about going and playing overseas just to like hone my craft a little bit more. I was thinking about going to the Philippines because like Kalemao and my good friend Alohi Robbins Hardy, like Alohi Robbins Hardy actually plays in the Philippines now, and she was just telling me how much she loves it, blah, blah, blah. And so I was thinking about that, but then I thought to myself, am I really like having fun in this sport anymore? Or is it more just did I want to utilize it to get further my career, like further my education essentially. And so I had to sit down with myself and think, okay, Tiyana, if you were to sign a contract, it's probably going to be like for at least 9 months. Like, do you want to live in the Philippines for 9 months of the year and like, devote that time to it? Because you can't have a separate job. Like, that's
You're
your full
totally
time.
committed to volleyball.
Right. And I'm like, do I love this sport enough to do it? Like, I still love volleyball, but not to bust up my knees. I literally had nerve damage in my knees after Gonzaga, just from hitting the floor so much as a libero. And so, yeah, I was like,
Wow.
am I enjoying this? No? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pass on that.
Yeah.
So the Olympics was definitely never in my sights. I always thought about like professionally like playing overseas, but never the Olympics. And I have the utmost respect for the people who play Olympics because I know the road it takes to get there. And it is so much trials, tribulations, and politics, honestly.
Yeah.
All sports are politics. So that is something that I did not want to invest in.
Okay. Okay, wait. So you did kinesiology,
Mhm.
and then you got your master's in like this education thing.
Yes.
But then I thought you were going to be a lawyer.
Yes, no. So right after my master's program, I had a quarter life crisis. That was always really fun. I'm like, holy crud. Volleyball and school is done.
Done. Yep, ended.
And that was like my entire life for 23 years. What do I do now? Like, where do I want my path to go? Because I am a very multi-passionate individual. I have a lot of different goals in my life. And so when you're done with a chapter of your life and you're looking at all the possibilities, God, it is freaking overwhelming. It is so overwhelming. You're just like sitting there and you're like, okay, I could do this path. But then what if I do this, blah, blah, blah? Okay,
That's so
what about
awesome
this one?
though, because you're young. And
that
you're
is
like
so true.
10 different opportunities and possibilities.
You are also incredibly young and you look beautiful as heck and you basically have every opportunity because you're just like killing it in life. But I digress. We'll talk about how awesome you are later on because I fully believe
I might have to have you back on the show so you can interview me.
I would love that. I'm not even kidding you. We're putting this in the books. We're putting this in the books. So that would be incredible because I have so many questions for you. But
So
anyway.
So then you're like, okay, I'm going to be a lawyer.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, I don't think I want to do that anymore.
Yes.
I want to be a flight attendant.
Yes.
And I want to audition for Survivor.
Yes. No. Long story short, with the lawyer thing, it got killed immediately because my two like really good friends, Emma Young and Colby Kahavai, they were in law school at the time at UH. They're natural brainiacs. I am not. They're like 3rd and 8 in their class. Like they were just crazy. And so we were just like out having pahana drinks. And then I asked them like, what's your advice for someone that wants to start law school? And they both looked at each other, laughed, and they were like, don't do it. Just don't do it. They go, we know you want to travel, Tiyana. You're going to die for 3 years in law school and then another 5 to like get your name out there, grind and always be on your phone. And I'm like, God, that does not sound good. So then I was kind of reevaluating things, and then COVID had started to like slowly fade out. I believe it was around like 2021 that we had that conversation. So I was an educational assistant at Kamehameha Middle School for a little bit and worked part-time at CPK at California Pizza Kitchen at Pro Ridge as like a takeout server, just like grinding it out, making money, trying to like figure out what I wanted to do. And then my mom saw that Hawaiian Airlines opened up applications for flight attendants. And so I applied, luckily got in my first try, went through absolute hell for that 2-month process of, being unpaid and you're getting tested every single day and you have to score above a 90% every single test. And if you score below it, like even like an 89.9, you get 1 retake for the whole 2 months.
Wow.
And then if you go below 90 again, you're out. Like, it was just so cutthroat. So, yeah, but being a flight attendant has been the absolute best experience of my life. I fully recommend it for anyone who wants to travel, and the benefits I've been able to share with my family, the places I've been able to see, being paid to go there. What? What are you even talking about? I get paid to eat ramen in Japan. You're crazy.
I've
You're
heard
crazy.
that from other people. But
Yeah.
they're like, being a flight attendant has been absolutely the best job ever.
Oh my gosh.
Why is that?
I honestly think it's because, well, obviously, I'm a little shy. Just kidding. I'm definitely like a social creature, and so I love getting to know people and seeing people and interacting with people on the flights. And I've met so many awesome people on the flights. Obviously,
Are you talking about your crew members or the passengers?
Both.
Okay.
Both coworkers and passengers, because a lot of flight attendants have other things going on. Like flight attendant is kind of like their part-time job, and then they are either real estate agents, or we have firefighters, we have people that have side businesses, they have like creation, like everyone is doing something so incredibly different. And obviously that's not everyone, but a lot of people that I've had the opportunity to talk with in the galleys, it's like, oh my God, we have the same passion when it comes to traveling, but then you have all these other things that like have opened my eyes to, oh my gosh, I can do so many other things too, you know? So
is that okay? Like that they're not full-time flight attendants? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They basically like, because once you get your seniority starts to build up and stuff, you can control your schedule. And for me, I'm a reserve flight attendant, so I have 12 days off a month, but I can, I've gained enough seniority where I can stack it to where I have 7 days off in a row. Like, so it can be like a mini vacation. And then, you know, diet, like, or whatever, sporadically disperse the rest of it throughout the rest of the month. And so depending on what I needed to do that month. And then so actually applying for Survivor had to do with being a flight attendant, because once I finished the 2-month program for to become a Hawaiian Airlines flight attendant, I thought to myself, if I can survive this, I can do anything. Like, I can literally do anything. And so I thought to myself, what is my biggest life goal? Like, just something that would be crazy. And I go, I want to apply for Survivor. Because in 2020, me and my family got super obsessed with Survivor. So I grabbed my tripod, I went outside in my backyard so I could make it look very naturey, all about the subliminal messaging, you know, sis? And so, yeah, like, you know,
you can
like,
picture me.
right, picture me in Fiji right now. Like, picture me as this is a confessional. And so I talked into the camera. That was March of 2022. I didn't get a call back until November of 2022. So I honestly forgot that I even applied.
Never mind.
Yeah, I go, oh, okay, cool, whatever. And it's because they filmed during that like section. So I hit it right at the end of like when they're taking auditions and stuff. And then they're already like prepping for the next 2 seasons that they film back to back. And then I got a text message while I was eating Gomate ramen, aka my favorite place. And it said, oh, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm a casting producer for Survivor. Like, do you have time? Like, I would love to work with you. And I'm literally just sitting there like, this is a scam. This is a scam. There's
Who
no
sold
way.
them my cell phone?
Right. I go, where did I put my cell phone number and why are people contacting me about Survivor? So after that, it was just very like strenuous, like interview process with panels upon panels, you just telling your story, why you think you're going to be the next sole survivor, how it's going to work, blah, blah, blah. And then a whole bunch of medical checks, obviously, like liability issues, being on an island, starving and doing crazy challenges. You got to make sure that we're all good to go. And then I was an alternate for season 45. So I just went out to Fiji for a week. And then I came back and yeah. And then after that, I kind of was just waiting and just being a flight attendant, loving my life.
Wait, so what was it like being an alternate? You're just at the resort, like cruising?
Yeah. So I basically did everything that the cast did, but like I did all the interviews, all the pregame interviews. And so basically I'm there just to make sure that like if anyone got super sick all of a sudden, then I could step in. So there's only 1 boy, 1 girl alternate. And so we were able to experience everything except like the playing part. The boy alternate, Austin, actually got called to like go into the game, and so he was able to play on season 45. He made it to the top 3, which is great, and he's amazing. But yeah, it just honestly feels. And then after that, I got the call back for season 47, and I was we went through a more brief interview process because they just wanted to make sure that I still wanted to do it, if they still liked me too, because sometimes things change in a year. And luckily they still did, and I was able to have that experience and hopefully would love to play again. But yeah, I digress. I'll just be waiting for that call, Jeff.
What was the hardest thing about it?
Oh my gosh. I think the hardest thing about it was trying to turn off Hawaii, but I couldn't. I couldn't turn off Hawaii no matter how hard I tried. Like, because you do need to play a cutthroat game, and I was totally willing to do that. But a lot of people like confided in me, they cried to me, and you know, looking back, it could be like them just like taking advantage of our like good natured spirits and stuff. And I thought that I was really like connecting with people on a more like
deeper level
for sure. And that's how I was planning on like forming my alliances, because it's a lot harder to vote off someone that you really care about than someone that you don't like, and then you're just an alliance, you know. But I think the hardest part about it was coming back and feeling like I was a failure. That was the hardest part for me because not to like toot my own horn or anything, but in life, I'm just like a full advocate. I live in this Delulu land where I will get what I want or I will get what I need and nothing in between. That's what I always tell myself. And when I got blindsided like that, and it was a double twist where it was half the tribe couldn't even vote, which I thought was absolutely crazy because even though they were safe, they should still be able to vote. I knew I would not have gone home if it came to that. And then the person that we were planning on voting out got saved from an advantage. So it's kind of like, now what? You know, like that was never the plan to get me booted that early. So when I did have that blind side and I was just like sitting there in the tent afterwards, I felt like the biggest letdown ever, especially being the first Native Hawaiian born and raised in Hawaii. Like, being from Hawaii is not like being from California or Alabama or friggin' Georgia. Like, no one or for reality shows, no one rallies around their person like Hawaii does. Like, Iam Tongi, like, oh my gosh, like all these different people who go off and do these amazing things. Hawaii backs them 110%. And so I felt like such a failure to not only my family, but to my people. Like, and so I just felt so down. It was crazy. Like for a long time, I just like couldn't even think about it because I'm like, ugh. And people are like, no, we're so proud of you regardless. But you know, that doesn't really.
You feel like a disappointment.
Right. Like that doesn't really like help.
Did you feel like they villainized you a bit in the editing?
Honestly, no. I feel like they did my edit really, really well.
Okay.
And if they did villainize me, I would be happy about it because that means that I was actually playing. Because in my head, you know, you have your perspective of the game and then you have like everyone else's perspective. And they can't show everyone's perspective of the game because that would be 18 different perspectives that they would have to like try to fit into one episode. But I feel like they did my episode they did my editing so well because they never casted me in a weird light. They could have easily made me look stupid and they never made me look dumb. They even reached out to a specific Native Hawaiian like artist, and she did my like back soundtrack for when I got voted off, and it was like in the back.
That gives me chills.
I know.
That's
and so
very nice.
It was. They didn't have to do all that. Like they could have easily played some like generic stuff in the background, but her rendition of like a vote off she was chanting like Imua, what's it called? Kulia Ikanu'u in the background. And I didn't even realize it when I watched my episode. And then my brother goes, they're saying Imua in the background. And I go, no, they're not. And so I know. And then so I was mind blown because I watched my episode back. And that was the only time I ever watched my episode back. And I was listening to the music and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Very respectful.
They did not have to do all that,
wow.
You know? And so I was so happy with it. And so hopefully if I get back on, I'll just be more of a tyrant to society and I don't even care about winning anymore. I just want to like make it harder for the person that wins. But we'll see. I hope so. Anyway.
What was the worst thing you ate?
A worm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it alive?
Did eat a worm. It was alive because you actually have to eat the worms alive so that, like, because if they're dead, you don't know how long they've been dead for. And then also there's bacteria.
Okay.
So it has to be alive. Poor thing. I know. I'm so sorry.
Who was your favorite person?
Favorite person on the island was probably either Rachel, the winner. So if anyone was going to win, she actually was the one that we were going to vote off and she got saved. So if anyone was going to win, I'm happy that it was Rachel because I really love her. Rachel, Genevieve, and I would say Kyle were probably like my top 3 like favorite people on the island. Oh my God, and Saul. Love Saul. Yeah.
What did you learn about yourself from that experience?
I learned that I need to stop taking myself so seriously, or like I used to take myself very, very seriously when it comes to my career. And I think a lot of people who know me are like, what? Like you take yourself seriously? Because I'm usually like, so, you know, go with the flow, like love adventure, like whatever, like, you know, very Hawaii, very I'm game for anything. But when it comes to my career and my goals, like winning Survivor was a huge goal for me. And if I don't get there, I'm like my hardest critic, you know, like I'm my worst critic and everyone is, you know, but I feel like with the Survivor experience, I had to really take a good look at myself and be like, what does that mean for me? Like, why am I so angry at myself when it comes to failure? And it's like, am I trying to prove that I'm good enough? Like, is that the underlying theme of why I feel that way? And so I just had to really like dive into what makes me feel like I'm such a failure when I got onto a show that like thousands upon thousands of people apply for, and I was one of the 18 that was selected.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and how far you made it, and the
Right.
relationships that were made, and
exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think the biggest thing that I took away from that experience was that I don't have to have it all together. I can show like vulnerability is strength. Like I can show weakness. I can show that I chased my dreams and fell a little bit short. And I'd rather have that than not go at all. You know.
well, and then like obviously when you get eliminated, it's because you're a threat.
Yeah.
So,
I wish I could have been stupider.
well, at least you weren't the first one, right? Because nobody
Right.
wants to be the first person.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I would have cried so hard. I would have been so mad. Oh my gosh, that would have been horrible. Sorry, John. Sorry, John, for the vote out. Yeah.
There's gotta be someone. So I know you're pursuing something else now that
Yes.
has to do with travel.
Yes, absolutely. So I actually just started pilot school. I was accepted into the Ascend Pilot Academy. It's owned by Alaska Airlines, and it's like under their regional airlines Horizon. And so I move up to Redmond, Oregon. So I will be starting that process like very, very soon. And so yeah, that's the big first step.
So do
of,
you
like-
want to fly like jets? Like,
Yeah, my goal is to fly back in Hawaiian, and I want to be a captain for the A330 specifically because I love where the A330 flies to like JFK, Boston, what's it called, Japan, Korea. Like I want those flights, and
Okay.
Sydney. I want those flights, and I also just want to get to like the peak of my career, which would be being a captain. I would love that.
Yeah.
So. And I'm
So
not
I
gonna
was
stop
thinking
until I
about
do.
you.
Yeah.
and I was thinking about when you become a captain, you just have to stay in the cockpit.
Yes.
And you only have like one or two other people to talk to.
Oh no.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Oh no. I have like. It has been.
You're
it's-
going to be confined.
No.
Okay.
Oh my god. It has been like a huge, I guess, debate within myself where I was going back and forth because I love being a flight attendant. Like, love it. I have no qualms with it. Obviously, sleep schedule is horrible, but my sleep schedule is always horrible. So, whatever. But being confined in a cockpit, like, what happens if that person sucks? What happens if they have horrible conversation? Then I'm just in the cockpit for 5 hours, just like,
And they don't want to talk to you.
right. And and I totally get it. Sometimes people are more shy and stuff, but oh my God, what if I have a weirdo? I don't know, So I'm like, maybe I'll just have to keep calling back to the flight attendants to like have a Lua break, like whenever I can, because
Yeah.
what the heck? Yeah, I've thought about that too. But I think what ultimately made me want to make that leap into the cockpit and to really go for it is because of the prices in Hawaii.
Ah.
Really, like I love the lifestyle of being a flight attendant, and I knew that I wanted to keep pushing myself in my career. And so when you're a flight attendant, obviously you're building a seniority every year. It gets better every single year, which is incredible. You get a raise every year. Like it's so nice just for existing, basically. But you still have to grind really, really hard to make ends meet in Hawaii. And so I obviously want to have my kids be raised here, like when I eventually find a partner, whenever the heck that would be. But I know that I want a lot of free time so that my free time can be invested into these other projects that I want to do. And I don't want my career to overtake my whole life. Like I feel like I have more to give than even being a pilot. I want to be a pilot and then have these two other big things that I want to accomplish on the side. So, and I need time for that.
I love that
I need
for
free
you.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
And I love how you're always, what's next? What is it that I want to pursue? Where am I going next? And you go like all in.
Thank you so much. No, it's definitely because I will be completely honest, I am personally afraid, excited, nervous, terrified, blessed, grateful for this opportunity to be a pilot. But I feel like something that people don't talk about a lot is when you finally get what you wanted. Like that moment of like, oh, wow, I got accepted into pilot school. And then you're like holding it and you go,
What
oh
now?
God, now I have to like actually do this. Like what if I'm not good? Like, and then all those self-doubt things like come into your head. Like, what if I'm not good enough? What if I don't want to, or what if I keep flying and I don't want to be a pilot anymore? And like, blah, blah, blah. Like all these things go into your brain. And so it's so amazing that I got this opportunity and I'm so grateful for it. But at the same time, it's terrifying stepping outside of your comfort zone, you know? And there was even a point in time when I was like laying up at night and I go, maybe I should just quit it. Like maybe I should just like stay as a flight attendant. And then my inner knowledge and my na'au was like, Tiyana, what are you even talking about? Like, you know that you're not going to be fully fulfilled staying as a flight attendant for your whole life. Like, you need a jump and like you're capable, you're more than capable. But everyone has that type of like combative moment with your brain and your now.
I think you and I are similar in that we don't want to settle. We want to keep pushing.
Yes, absolutely.
And so this is going to be for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
You're always going to be like this. What's next? I think.
Yeah. And I feel like what's so awesome about you is that it's very clear from your social media, like you are still very present in where you are right now, but you're always looking forward. You're always Imua, aka Pohi.
Yep.
Love you, Pohi. But yeah, it's like that balance between, and I've had to teach myself that too, of like feeling content in this moment and being proud of yourself for all the accolades that or all of the things that you've already accomplished, while simultaneously still being like, I can do
going
more.
forward.
What more can I do? How can I?
We're the same.
More? We are the same. I know.
Yeah.
We resonate so much with each other. I feel like that's why we just. That's why this podcast could possibly be like 2 hours long.
I think
honestly.
so.
Yes.
Because
100%.
I'm not one of those people that was like, I want to get married and have a family. And then that's it. Like for me, it was like school, education, career, home, you know, like it was like, and then Miss Hawaii and Miss America and news anchor. And, you know, like it was like all these things for me where I was like, here's what I want to do next. And here's what I want, you know, and I feel like I'm like that all the time.
No. And also what's so beautiful about your story is that like being like a Native Hawaiian, born and raised in Hawaii, like those are the stories that I just crave. I love like, it's this onward and forward thinking that I feel like, and I'm not even trying to, you know, talk down on people who are just like, I wanted to have kids and have a family. Like that's also totally fine.
Yeah, and I totally get it.
Right.
There are people where that is their life and they're very happy.
Exactly. Yeah. Yay! But like I've never resonated with that. And a lot of my friends actually, or like all of my friends actually in my inner circle are not like that either. Like all of our lives, we haven't talked about kids really like a lot. It's like maybe 0.01% of the time ever. And I always tell my friends and family because they ask, oh yeah, like when are you going to settle down? When are you going to have, like when are you going to find a boyfriend or a husband and blah, blah, blah. And I always give them the same answer. I go, I'm either going to have 0 or 3 kids. I'm either going to not have a partner, and that's totally fine with me. Because I will not drop my standards. And I will have 0 kids, and I'll just be the hot, rich auntie that comes around and like gives all your kids really cool toys.
Fancy.
I'll have,
fun auntie.
Yeah, I'll be the Fenty, rich Fenty. Like, and then, or I'll have like 3 kids that I wanted, like, because I'm one of 3. But it is that onward thinking that a lot of the times, it's funny because romantic life has always been, honestly, I'm so sorry, dead last. Dead last in my life.
But you should place emphasis on being supported.
Yes.
And so whatever that community or those people are,
absolutely,
and if it's romantic or not, you know, having that too is important.
Absolutely. And that's also why, and I bet you have the exact same support system too, where you've created these friendships and these sisterhoods and your family ties and your relationships, and they're all like, that's why I'm so okay being by myself, is because I have them. Like I have them that always like tells me I'm beautiful, tells me like I can do big things, like always is there in my corner. And so because I have such genuine and strong relationships there, it once again fuels us to be better. Yeah. But it also allows me to never settle in terms of a connection or a relationship that I end up probably making in the future, and not dropping those standards.
That's smart though.
It really is.
You know?
Yeah.
I kind of see you finding someone that's similar to you. Like maybe another pilot, or, you know, just in that you have the same goals and wants and needs and desires, and you just kind of go and live your lives and
Oh my gosh.
on that journey.
Trust me, sister, I have thought about that
You're
so
manifesting.
often. No, literally. I have journaled out every single standard that I have in terms of finding a good partner in life. And I really, because I feel like a lot of the times, like, I don't know if you believe in like masculine and feminine energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like a lot of the times when we're so ambitious and moving forward and like we're so fast paced and are moving towards our career and our goals and stuff, which is amazing. But that's more so like in the masculine energy. I would love to be put in my feminine energy. Please, someone come around that is like, you know what, I got it.
I
You know,
feel
like,
you.
oh, I got
I
it.
feel
Yeah.
you.
Oh no, I got it. Instead
Yeah.
of like, I feel as if when it comes to at least dating, it's a lot of whatever you want to do and like whatever. And I think
You're like, I present as the alpha, but I
Right.
really don't want to be.
No, exactly. Like, oh, I present as the alpha, and thank you so much for respecting me. Could you please just take care of something for me?
Sweep me off
Yeah.
my feet.
Seriously. And so,
Aw.
yeah. So it's just going to take, like, I'm totally open to it, but at this point in time, I'm not, like, on any dating apps or looking for anything because we got stuff to do, you know? And if someone falls
We on the move.
Yeah, we're on the move and we're moving fast. So you either keep up or you get left behind. So there's no in between. I'm so sorry. We're not slowing this train down for anybody. And I don't believe that I would have to because I feel like the person that I'm meant to be with will be on the same train.
Yep.
They'll have the same, exactly what you're saying. They'll have the
Yeah.
same, at least end goal too. Like that's a really big one is that finding someone that this is their end goal.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that's a non-negotiable for me. I'm not gonna. I can move somewhere and be there for maybe like 5 years, but this is end all be all. You know?
And you've lived on the continent or on the mainland. And
Yes.
You're very well traveled. So
Yes, and getting back or now gonna live in Oregon and gonna live there for like a year to
Wow.
year and a half at least. And
so
then,
can you still do the flight attendant gig?
No, I have
Ooh.
to. Yeah, I'm hoping that I can get a leave of absence, but
Okay,
it's
okay.
like full time, so I have to be up there and live there, and
Oh.
so I think that's also a part of my heart that like is super
Questioning.
sad.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
because once again, I love it. Like I love this job and I love the people I've met, but like fully giving it up is just crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
It's
the
gonna-
sacrifice.
Exactly. That's a
Yeah.
sacrifice for bigger and better things. You just kind of have to give
Dang.
what you love for what like you know you can do, like what you know that you're capable of. And
Yeah.
so
And you got to give it a try,
yes.
or else you wouldn't know.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And I never think in terms of like what if scenarios that are like, oh, what if I love it? You know, like cuz like your head is always saying, "Oh, what if this goes wrong or what if I don't like red mint or what if I, you know, like what if my roommates are weird?" Cuz this is the first time that I'm going to be living with strangers since freshman year of college, like cohabitate with people I don't really know. And so I am just thinking to myself, what if they're weird? What if I don't end up liking them? But you have to put all that aside because you know that those are all just limiting beliefs that are just keeping you from your potential, you know? So it's hard though. I bet you've also felt that too in your pageant world with when you're, because you literally are in comparison.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Right. Yes, on a scale of 1 to 10, you were in
Being judged.
Yes, being judged for every single one of your answers, being judged for every single thing that you brought to the table, standing up
Even
there,
now.
gown. Yes. And it's like,
You kind of just have to not care.
yes.
And just be secure in yourself and your
Absolutely.
beliefs and your passion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know that you have a mission that is not seen from other people. So it's like, why? And also, I will also say this about you because it can sometimes probably be intimidating to see a very successful, beautiful woman like yourself and approach a beautiful woman like yourself. But at the same time, like my mom always says that light attracts either light or bugs.
Oh,
Yeah. So she says,
oh, that's funny.
Yeah, she always reminds me, she's like, Tiyana, you have a light, but light attracts light, but it also attracts bugs. So like the right people are attracted to you, but also the people
Yeah.
who just want to be around you to like
Yeah.
either like get ahead in their career or whatever that may be is also a possibility. But going back to your point, knowing your mission, knowing your why, like knowing why you're doing the things that you are doing and your passions and your beliefs is huge.
Yeah.
It's
Totally.
everything. Yeah.
Well, final message from you of everything that you've accomplished and your travels and your experiences. Like, what kind of advice would you give to a young girl that sees you as like a role model and,
Oh my gosh.
doesn't know what she wants to be or?
Oh my gosh. First of all, I see you. I see you, girl, that doesn't know what she wants to be, because me being multi-passionate, I didn't know either. Like, I was in a space, I actually didn't even really figure out and start to feel like a groove until I was 23-ish, 23, 24, 25. Like, and I feel as
That's
if,
about right. I think that's when you
yes.
kind of start to find yourself.
Yes, absolutely. And then, but there's also those people that you probably compare yourself to, because I did. A lot of my friends, they already knew they wanted to be a doctor from like friggin' elementary school, or they knew they wanted to be a lawyer. They knew they wanted to like do these things from a really young age. And at that time, I obviously, when you're young, you compare. I mean, when you're old, you compare. You compare all the time. But with that comparison, you kind of just feel like, oh God, am I behind? Like, why don't I already know what I want to do? And to that I say BS. And to that I say BS, because we have this whole lifetime to keep trying new things, doing new things. Like, you can try this path. If you don't like it, switch and try again. A lot of people get stuck. And I will say it's something that I've seen a lot in Hawaii in general, is that people that I've talked to on the plane, I just like ask them like, oh, like, are you happy with, your job or whatever? Just like very casual conversation. And they go,
Not really.
nah, but I mean, I've been in it for 20 years. Like, I might as well stick it out. And I just look at them and I'm like, there's always time for change. So
there's no room for being unhappy.
there is no, oh my God, there is no room for like satisfactory. There's no room for just settling, in my opinion. Like, and I'm the first person to tell all my friends and even strangers, like, you deserve everything that you want in this life. And I feel as if some people think like success and goals and dreams, like it's like a pie, and then if someone has it, you can't have it too. But in reality, every single time I see like someone like you succeeding, or seeing a beautiful woman, a Native Hawaiian woman succeeding again, or even just Native Hawaiians in general doing big things, I don't feel intimidated by their success. I feel motivated by it, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's how you
100%.
should take it, instead of it being like, oh God, Elena's doing all these amazing things. Like, I can't even possibly like come close. Like, what am I supposed to do? She already taken all the pie. It's like, no. In reality, she's baking more of the pie.
Aw,
like, she's
that's
literally,
beautiful.
yeah, like you are literally, one of those people who are paving the way for people who look like us and women who look like us to do big things, be goal chasers, big dreamers. Like, it's just, I think like my biggest advice would be, do it all. And don't feel afraid to fail. Don't feel afraid to fall on your face, because we all do.
Yep.
And the only people that I've met that are not like at their fullest, happiest potential are the people who are afraid to just go for it. And that's really the difference, because you can always be a dreamer. There's billions upon billions of dreamers in the world.
Yeah.
But it really is the action of just doing it, not feeling like you're ready, just jumping into it. That's going to be the difference between the life that you've always wanted and the life that you settle for. So, yeah.
Quotes by Tiyana.
Quote me. Put me on a Pinterest board, people.
I feel like you're going to write a book. That'll be like the next one.
Next step is writing a book, and Elena will be in it as a chapter as well. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your time and your space and your mana'o and just everything. Like, you are really intoxicating, just in terms of like everything that you do and your energy. So keep doing it.
You are intoxicating. Thank you so much for having me. You're the sweetest person ever. Thank you.
I'm so glad that our paths crossed.
No,
because I was like,
same.
I'm going to follow you and follow your journey. And now I want to highlight you.
No, literally, thank you so much for that, because this friendship, I'm already so excited about it. Like, I'm just so stoked to like continue to cheer you on in every phase of your life. Like, oh God.
And
it's going to be
you.
amazing. And you, you.